Today, we're diving into secrets of the millionaire mind to figure out the mental software that separates the super rich from, well, pretty much everyone else. All right, let's just get right to it. Have you ever wondered why building wealth seems so simple for about 4% of people, but feels totally impossible for the other 96% of us? So what's the deal? Well, it's not about luck, it's not about your IQ, and it's definitely not about where you came from. The secret, and this is wild, is that your mind is probably running on a poverty operating system. Yeah, a program that's literally designed to push money away. So, in the next few minutes, forget everything you think you know about stocks or real estate. We're doing something way more fundamental. We're going to format that old busted blueprint and install 3 powerful codes of wealth. It's a full system reboot for your mind. Okay, so first things first, we got to find the bug in the system. What is this thing that's holding us back? Well, it all comes down to something called your financial blueprint. So what is that exactly? Your financial blueprint is basically the subconscious program that's been controlling your entire financial life without even knowing it. And you weren't born with it. Nope. It was written and installed way back in your childhood, and it's been running on autopilot ever since. Harv Eker has this amazing way of explaining it. He says to think of your financial life like a tree. See, most of us, we're completely obsessed with the fruits, our salary, our investments, the stuff we can see, but we totally ignore the roots. And if the roots, your deepest beliefs about money, are poisoned, well, you're never going to get great fruit, are you? So where did this messed up code even come from? Well, it was programmed into you by 3 main things. First, what you heard growing up. Things like money doesn't grow on trees or rich people are greedy. Second, what you saw, how your parents handled or maybe mishandled money. And third, what you experienced, any specific emotional moments around money from when you were a kid. All of that together created the software that's still limiting you today. All right, so that's the bad news, that's the problem. But now for the good news, the solution. It's time for the upgrade. We're going to dive into 3 of the most powerful millionaire codes. These are the mental files that truly separate the rich from everyone else. Let's kick things off with a big one. Code number 2. And this is so fundamental because it's not about what you're doing, it's all about the intention, the energy you bring to the whole game of money. And here it is, the huge difference. Most people play the money game not to lose. Their main goal, survival, comfort, just getting by. But rich people, they play to win. Their goal isn't just comfort, it's massive wealth and abundance. And think about that for a second. If your only goal is to be comfortable, chances are you'll never get rich. But if you aim for massive wealth, you'll almost certainly end up very comfortable. Okay, moving on to code number 4. This one builds right on top of that play to win idea. It's all about scale. See, people who are just trying not to lose, they also tend to think small. Their focus is on their own little world, their own problems. But people with a rich mindset, the ones playing to win, they think big. They get that their life isn't just about them. It's about how they can add huge value to other people's lives. This brings us to a crucial point he calls the law of income. It's simple. You will be paid in direct proportion to the value you deliver to the marketplace. So instead of just thinking, how do I solve my housing problem? Start asking, how could I solve the housing problem for 1,000 people? That's the shift from small thinking to big thinking. And this all leads us to the final code we're going to cover, and honestly, this might be the most important one of all. Code number 16. And this one is pure action. Okay, here's a huge truth bomb for you. Everybody feels fear. Rich people feel fear, they feel doubt, they worry, they have all the same feelings as everyone else. The only difference is that they refuse to let those feelings stop them. A poor mindset lets fear be a giant stop sign. A rich mindset sees the fear, nods at it, and then takes action anyway. They just get that action is the only thing that creates results. So you don't need to get rid of your fear to be successful. You just have to train yourself to be bigger than your fear. It really comes down to this. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the triumph over it. It's acting in spite of it. All right, so we've got the theory down, we know what codes we need, but how do we actually install this new operating system? Well, luckily, there's a really simple 3-step process to overwrite that old, dusty blueprint. The process is awareness, disassociation, and reconditioning. You can think of it like this. First, you spot the virus. Then you quarantine it. And then you install the new, clean software. Step 1 is awareness. Look, you can't change something if you don't even know it's there. So your job is to become a detective of your own thoughts. When a negative money thought pops into your head, just notice it. Maybe even write it down. The key here is to realize you are not your thoughts. You are the one observing them. Next is step 2, disassociation. So when you catch one of those old, unhelpful thoughts, you have to separate yourself from it. You literally say to yourself something like, "Hey, thanks for sharing, but that's just my old programming. I choose to think differently now." This little act consciously breaks the old pattern and gives you your power back. And finally, step 3, reconditioning. This is where you actively install the new files. The best way to do this is with declarations. You pick a powerful, positive statement like, "I create my own financial success," and you say it out loud, every day, with feeling. You are literally rewiring your brain to think and feel like the successful person you want to be. So, we've looked at the problem, we've looked at the solution, and we've got the exact steps to get there. Now, it all boils down to a choice. Your choice. And that choice becomes crystal clear when you ask yourself one powerful question. If you do nothing, if you just continue with the programming you have right now, where are you going to be in 5 years? I mean, really, take a second and think about that. Your answer to that question, that's your motivation to start today. Because at the end of the day, wealth isn't some lottery ticket you find. It's not a single event. It's a habit. It's a way of being. And it's all driven by those core beliefs. So stop staring at the fruits, wondering why they're not bigger. Go down to the roots. Tend to your inner world, and you'll find the outer results will start to blossom all on their own.